Good morning, everyone. As you can see, hence the title, found some bad news out yesterday. Very dear friend and regular to the coffee morning passed away. It's not showing any anyone in at the moment, but 3 waiting. So I think the it says hang on a minute, 3 watching, but on the
three messages in chat.
Yeah, I know, but it's, you know how it normally comes up on the Hangouts. There's nothing showing at all.
Oh, it says 5 watching
Yeah,
anyway.
so a Scotsman in Asia. She was a fellow YouTuber and she used to join us on this coffee morning on a regular basis. Found out yesterday that she'd passed away. How can I refresh Hangouts? It's the Hangouts one. Hi, Eric Cuthbert, how are you? So I was unsure whether or not I was going to go live this morning, but Pixie, who is my husband, said, I think Sharon would want you to do it. So I decided to do this. Yeah. She says, I saw the news on Sherry's Facebook, so sad. So yeah, it devastated me yesterday because she was quite a regular. Sorry. I knew this had happened. Tried to compose myself. So yeah, she were a regular on the coffee morning, and we've had some good laughs with her. And this is just typical of Sharon, as we used to we always said that we wanted to tour the USA, and basically she threatened me. She says, well, I'd like to be the first person that you come and visit if you ever come to the States. So, you know, she threatened me that, you know, she wanted to be the first person if we ever did get to the States, that, you know, she wanted us to visit her. So as I say, we hadn't seen her for a few weeks. But apparently, according to the Facebook post, she had a cardiac arrest, and basically they ended up putting her on life support, but they couldn't do any more for her, so the family had decided to stop the support. So I don't really know a lot about the situation, but you know, that's as basically as far as, you know, the situation goes. That's all I know. It must have been a massive cardiac arrest. So but you see, we don't know how old that post was, Sam. But yeah, I Nerd of the North, how are you? Yeah. Yes, I am Emma, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Hi Lloyd, how are you? It is. I have sent you an invitation, Bella. Bella has actually made me a thumbnail, which I will be putting on after the live stream. It don't enable me to do it till afterwards. I mean, if it's a vlog or anything, yeah, you can do it. But it was posted by a son that day. Sherry posted it straight away. Oh, so the post was made yesterday. See, this is what I didn't understand. But same as I was saying, I didn't know what to do, whether to go live today or not, because I class Sharon as a really, really dear friend, and I think Bella will agree with me. And I mean, Emma's been in here when we've had laughs. I mean, as I've put in the description, her favourite saying was when she came in, she didn't understand a lot of sort of the things that we were saying, like as UK euphemisms, and she says, I might regret this, but I'm going to ask anyway. I mean, that was one of her favourite sayings. Yeah, is it Sherry All's camp or something? I think, yeah, I think that's actually where I saw the post yesterday. I think I am, Sam. Hiya, Choppers. Yeah, you're right there, Choppers. She will be missed but never forgotten. And I mean, Choppers has been here when, and Emma's been here when Sharon's been in the chat. She were a regular. I mean, even like it were 4 a.m. where Sharon was. Yeah, and as she had to use Google Translate, bless her. But yeah, and I always say that Pixie and Sharon were sparring partners because she used to pick on him and threaten to hit him over the head with a cast iron skillet. But it were all good banter, you know. And she sort of used to end it with, but you know, I love you anyway, Pixie. You know what I mean? She and that you know, it's not only that we could laugh with her, but we could also laugh at her, if you know what I mean. She was one of them people that it didn't bother her that we were laughing at her. And it, yeah, Carla, same as Carla's been here when she's been in. She were a really lovely person. Faced some struggles in her life. You know, but she turned her life around. She found God. And Chopper says she always made him laugh. But that's the sort of person she was, you know. She could make you laugh, but you know what I mean. And I agree with Pixie. I do hope they keep a channel up, you know, or a videos at least. Oh, nothing is happening. I'll try and send it you again, Bella, and hopefully third time lucky. Yeah, Emma says life is too short. You never know what's around the corner, and it shocks you when things like this happen. But also, as well, I mean, oh,
my God.
the man is.
I don't know what's happening. I can't get the light off.
Yeah, you see, this is the thing, Sam. I mean, Bella will agree with me. There's many a time that she's been in the coffee mornings. You know, I mean, obviously it'd be like 4 a.m. in the USA, and you know, we'd be talking about subjects, and she'd be saying, "Oh, I might regret this, but I'm going to ask anyway."
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that was Sharon. You know what I mean? That were her motto. I might regret this, but I'm going to ask anyway.
Every time it was, especially if I spoke really fast, she's just what?
And there'd be certain subjects we'd be talking about, you know, and Sharon being Sharon, she'd say, well, I don't understand. Can somebody tell me, you know, what's this or what's that? I mean, it were not only could she laugh with us, Bella, often we laughed at her.
Oh, yeah. And you didn't mind.
No, didn't mind whatsoever. And same as I said to Chris, you know, I classed her as a very dear friend, even though I'd never met her.
I know.
Even though I'd never met her, I says, and she used to threaten us that when we'd talk about doing like a road trip round America, she threatened me and said, "You better be one of the first people that you come and see."
Oh, man.
You know, I mean, can you remember the times that, because she'd got a second channel, hadn't she?
Yeah.
And it was Sharon Dean Baker. She used to come in not realising that, you know, she'd come in on the wrong channel and say, "Sharon, you're in wrong channel." And she'd say, "Be right back, I'll just be a minute."
You know, when I do me shopping videos and I do like a haul, or I go to the Superdrug and I do shopping video.
Yeah.
She used to comment, "Oh, that looked lovely. What's it for?"
But you see, this is the thing. She weren't scared to ask. She wasn't scared to ask.
She was a darling. She was a darling.
Hi, Tina. But you see, this is what was so endearing about Sharon. If she didn't understand something, she wasn't scared to ask.
I know.
You know, and thank you for doing the thumbnail. Same as Chris says, I can add it sort of afterwards because it's a live stream.
Yeah.
You can't sort of add it.
Oh yeah, but when it goes up, you can.
Yeah. But yeah, and I've just been saying to everybody, I'm a bit apprehensive about doing one this morning, and
yeah.
But it's not only that. I mean, it's sadness, but it's also remembering her with fondness, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh no, we're not going to be any good this morning.
You know, it's not just with sadness, it's with fondness, because you were a lovely lady.
We're not going to be any good this morning, hon.
No, but we wanted to do this for Sharon.
Oh no.
And this is why we wanted to do this, because it's them fond memories that we'll remember.
We're not normally miseries, are we?
No. But it's as I always say, Bella, there's certain people that touch your hearts, and Sharon was one of them.
Absolutely. You know, and I know it sounds, it's wrong to say, I know. But, you know, there's so many horrible gits out there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but why? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why? I know that's not a right thing to say, but
yeah, I know what you're saying, Bella. You know, it. Same as I said, Sharon had a struggle, but she turned her life around. I mean, she openly admitted to us the struggles that she's had in her life.
Yeah.
And it takes a strong person to be able to do that.
It certainly does.
And that is just Sharon's. That's just her personality.
Oh. I'm supposed to be filming this afternoon, so I'm trying to save me eye makeup.
But you see, same as I say, it's not very often people touch your hearts the way Sharon did with everybody.
No.
You know,
no.
People can't say, "Oh, well, you can't love a person because you've never met," but that's the sort of person that Sharon was. You know, you could so easily love her because she were a lovely person.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I cherish. I mean, Bella will tell you, we were both devastated yesterday. And I just sat there in shock when I read it on Facebook. And I couldn't believe it. You know, the fact that we'll never see her in her coffin mornings again. And it was just a real a kindness. She was always there with kind words for everyone. Yeah,
Just
I agree.
Sharon.
I agree with you, Sam. She says, I have a lot of people in the USA I haven't met, but I consider them family. And this is it, you know.
Yeah, she does. They turn the machine off. I think. I'm trying so hard not to cry.
Yeah, same as Chopper said. She always said, she said hello to everyone. Chopper said she always said hello to me in the chat. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think me and Bella both agree with you there, Emma. But,
absolutely, Emma. Yeah. Absolutely. They always take the good ones.
Tina says, what's your YouTube? Yeah, a YouTube name as in the title was Bama Grits, but we always refer to her as Sharon. You know what I mean?
Always on here, Tina. She was always on here. You must have seen her.
Yeah, Fat Boy says Bama Grits was a wonderful person. May she rest in peace. I agree with you there, Fat Boy.
She certainly was. She certainly was.
Shira says, how was she? She looked fit and well last time. We see, I don't actually know how old she were. I mean, I don't think she ever let anybody how old she was. She was in a wheelchair. I do know that. I mean, I don't know a lot of details, you know, just that she were a regular, you know.
I think she was late 60s. I think, wasn't she? I'm not sure.
Yeah. But I mean, same as I said earlier on, she did struggle in her earlier life. And same as she always said to me, I paid for it. I paid for my misdoings in my earlier life. But she turned her life around and she found God.
There's none of us here. There's none of us, Jeanette, that's lived in a nunnery. Let's face it, you know. You get to our age and, you know, none of us have been in a nunnery, have we? We've all got things, you know.
But this is the kind of person that she was, though, Bella, weren't she? She admitted her past. You know what I mean? A lot of people won't admit the past, if you know what I mean. She openly admitted that, you know, she'd had a wild past, let's just say. And she says, sort of, now I'm in my 60s, I'm paying for it, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam said she'd say mid to late 60s. But the fact that she turned her life around and she found God, you know, I think that Yeah, that were a saving grace, if you know what I mean. I mean, there's not many YouTubers, you can't say, that don't know her.
Really?
You know what I mean? She were a regular in a lot of people's live streams and in the chats, and you know, never heard her say a bad word about anybody. She was one of them sort of people. She never said a bad word about anybody. You know, she'd not got a bad word to say about anybody at all.
She used to make me laugh. You go back over my old, get ready with me. I mean, I'm going back and I say, this is that looks really you. What's it for? I used to say, how do you know? I don't know what it's for. How do you know it's usefully?
But that Cherry says it's funny. We think we're going to live forever. Life is short, and I mean, I found that out as well when I lost my mum. You know, I found that out. you've got to make the most of your life, and that's the realization that I come to after I lost my mum.
Yeah, I'll make people fluff, but better get dressed.
These are all the bed clothes because I'm doing a load of linen washing.
Right, I'll make the bed.
But I'll make it and yeah.
You can stay down here.
Yeah, I send Troy, thank you for coming in. And Carla says this is a special community, a safe space. We are a family here, and we have lost one of our own. I agree with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's just how me and Bella feel, Carla. It feels like we've lost one of our own. Hi, Elisa.
No, Tina, as far as we know, as far as I can make out, and Jeanette can make out, it was sudden. She was a poorly lady. She was a poorly lady, but the actual cardiac arrest, wasn't it, Jeanette?
Yeah, that's basically the Facebook post was that she'd had a cardiac arrest. They'd sort of revived her and everything, but obviously it must have done some damage because I think she was on life support at the hospital, and the family has made the decision to turn the life support off. So no, she weren't poorly as such. You know, we see. I do know that Kate was gonna go live last night, and sort of when I told her the news, she says, out of respect, I'll not go live. And this is sort of what I was thinking, like, should I go live? Shouldn't I go live? You know, I were on that dilemma, you know, should I still go live and blah, blah, blah. And Chris says, I mean, she'd have wanted you to go live. So I says, well, I'll go live. I'll make it as a tribute to Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, it's I can't say I'm going to sit here 2 hours but I just wanted to do something. She were a regular on the coffee morning, you know, and same as Carla says. It's like,
family.
Yeah, it's like losing a family member because it's someone that's close to you, even though we'd never met. You know, it's.
I said to you last night when you were sort of not sure what to do. I mean, obviously, I'd do whatever you wanted to do, but I think you've done the right thing.
Hi, Tammy's home said, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Carla says, I'm very glad you did go live. You're providing a place for people to console each other, to process, to share some love and pay tribute. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's what I wanted to do. I mean, as I say, Bella will tell you, we had this conversation last night. I was that devastated yesterday. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether to go live, whether to sort of give it a miss this morning. And Bella and Chris both said to me, well, it's up to you, but I think she'd want you to do it. You know, you can do it as a tribute to her. You know, this were a place that she came, if you know what I mean. So we wanted to carry that on, but do it as a tribute to her.
Yeah.
So, Chopper says the link doesn't work for him, Chris. So
I'll try, Chris, see if it works for me, love.
Yeah. I know she wouldn't want any tears, but it's hard not to, really.
I know.
Oh, yeah, that's probably why Choppers can't. It's all right. Choppers, it's in the group, isn't it? And he's got to asked to join the group. That's probably why it don't work for choppers.
Mark, why are you not in our group? Get yourself in our group.
Yeah, and that is true. What Carla's just said. She would have wanted you to go on and would be blushing at all this gushing over her.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I do believe that. You know what I mean? Another thing is as well, I mean, she only lost her husband in August.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, a lot of people don't believe this, but I think it was probably a broken heart over losing her husband.
Yeah.
You know, and people say, oh, you know, it's not, you know, you can't die of a broken heart, but
You can.
You look at people that have been together for years and years and years, and I've read stories where one partner's died one day and the following day,
Yeah.
the partner that's left behind's died.
Yeah. I remember there was an old couple lived opposite my mum, Mr. and Mrs. Snowden. Because when we was kids, we used to call people Mr. and Mrs., didn't we, you know? And an old couple lived opposite, and he used to wait at the door if she was out, and they were so much of a team for years and years, through the war, through everything and ever. And she died on the Friday and he died on the Sunday.
But yeah, I'm one of these that believe, like, it's like you and Baz and me and Pixie, you know, I often say I couldn't live without him. But you know, people that, same as you said, have been together for years and years and years, I think it's, you know, she'd been with him that long, and it's the fact that, you know, so yeah, and if there's one thing I've got to say, at least she's with him now, or
yeah,
you know,
I believe it.
Yeah,
wholeheartedly.
They're going to be together again. They're going to be reunited.
I believe it wholeheartedly.
And I think it upset him more than she let on to people about, you know, his passing and everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think she let on to people that was sort of person, Sharon, where she let on to people that she were okay.
I know. She probably wasn't as a tougher cookie as she was trying to. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. You know, she made out to everybody that, you know, I'm strong. I'll be all right, sort of thing. But you don't, you know, you're not with her, you know what I mean? And that's what Lisa said, reunited in heaven with her true love. And I believe that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, same as I say, she were one of a kind, because I've never met anybody like her. You know what I mean? She not only laughed with you, she knew people were laughing at her, but she didn't mind. She didn't mind at all.
She liked to give you that joy, didn't she?
Yeah, yeah. You know, and sort of, even though sort of Pixie and Sharon had got that banter between themselves, where he were threatening to let her wheelchair wheels down, and you know, there were that banter going on backwards and forwards. She always used to put right at the very end in brackets, but you know, I love you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And when I sort of said to Chris, I seen it, and I sort of sat bolt upright, and I went, and he says, what's up? And I says, Sharon, you know, and it even affected him, and, you know, and he's a bloke. You know what I mean? because she
Well,
was,
I saw it in the front room. I was sitting in the front room and I had to come out in the kitchen because the light's brighter, because I just couldn't believe
yeah,
what I'd read.
yeah. And I was saying, Bella, you know, and when I read it out to Chris, and I kept saying, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" You know, I mean, you know, I admit this, but it was devastated as well. You know what I mean? It was absolutely devastated. The fact that, you know,
I know.
she was part of family. That's the only way I can describe her. She was part of the fixtures and furnishings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As regards the coffee morning. You know, and same as I said, when I got, it's all right. Benny's on the table and he's knocking things flying. You know, to tune in. I mean, it was 4 o'clock sometimes in America when she'd tune in here. You know, and this is what I say about Carla and everybody in the USA. You know what I mean?
It's got to be 20 to 6 where Carla is now.
You know, and it's I know, like you and myself, people have trouble sleeping, but she, you know, she used to come in and she were a regular.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, 20 to 6 it is for Carla.
Yeah. Sam says I think it's harder when it comes out of the blue when someone's 6 foot. But you see, I sort of understand what you're saying, Sam. But I mean, my mum died of cancer, and no matter how much you prepare yourself for it, it's still hard when it happens, if you know what I mean. I agree. When your spirits are connected so strongly, you could pass. Yeah, I do as well. Hi, Kate. How are you? I would just say, I was just saying, I know you were supposed to go live last night, and I had to respect you cancelled the live stream. But this was my dilemma last night. Should I go live?
Okay.
You know, should I go live? As much as, you know, as much as it's upset myself and Bella, Chris said she would have wanted you to gone live. And so that's why I've done it in Sharon's honour. So yeah, so this is a tribute to Sharon, today's live stream. So
I think later, when it first happened, because my mum passed, you know, quickly, and nobody knew there was anything wrong with her, and it's devastating at first because you're not expecting it, and it's devastating. But later on, when you've had time to think, and months down the line, you just see that was better for her.
yeah,
That she didn't have any suffering. So, like now I'm glad she went like that.
yeah. I mean, I've sort of been on the other side.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
but
I mean, I've always said, Bella, I'd want to go like that suddenly without any warning, because I've seen my mum die of cancer. And same as Sam says, her mum died of emphysema. And it is long and horrible. And it's same with cancer. You know what I mean? If I were going to say, you know, I'd want to go quick. Yeah. Rather than watching anybody watching me, what I watched my mum go through.
Yeah, exactly.
Life, thank you for coming in. But yeah, you know, I think we'd all wish that we could all go suddenly. You know, having seen, you know, what, you know, cancer does to people.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I've always said, you know, it's hard to. I mean, you don't wish death on anybody, but you know, same as you said, if you're gonna go, you want it to be quick, painless, and you know, you don't want anybody to suffer. You know, and I'm a good believer as well in. Hi, Hazels, how are you? Oh, so Hazel's reptiles had her own struggle going on. A sister found a brain tumor on a sister 8 months ago. So, you know, you see, this is it. I mean, you see, my mum were offered chemotherapy, but at the time, it were a stable. They couldn't operate on it, and they said, well, you know, if it starts spreading or it starts growing in size, then we'll go down the chemotherapy route. But it was such an aggressive cancer that without warning, boom, that were it.
Yeah.
You know, it were 1 minute it was stable, and then the next minute it just spread. You know, not given a chance to have chemotherapy or anything. Yeah, so you know, and having sort of sat and watched your own mother battle cancer, which from being, I mean, like from going and being a bubbly person, you know, living life to the full, she was very independent and whatever, to seeing her struggling each and every day. Well, this is it. Hi, Kenneth, how are you? I mean, is she receiving treatment, Hazel? You know, but it's got to be hard. Like things like that. I mean, my uncle died of a brain tumor, but you know, it's I can understand it from Hazel's point of view. I mean, taking a break, you know, it's got to be hard when your sister is diagnosed with something like that. But yeah, same as we're saying, I still, it still hasn't sunk in yet. I don't think it's sunk in yet that, you know, we're not going to see her anymore. And yeah. Yeah. Same as Kate saying her granny died of cancer. And this is, you know, it is, it's the worst thing that a person, you know, at least Sharon didn't suffer.
Yeah.
No.
I agree.
Didn't have to endure all the suffering and everything. Yeah, she had brain surgery. And, yeah, that's it. That's the only thing we can do, Hazel, is pray. You know, pray for a speedy recovery, and I hope she gets through this. I'm sure she'll get through it with the love of her family and everybody around her. Yeah, even Pixie's saying She was a wonderful woman. We got on like an ass on fire. Bit like Beavis and Butthead, really. You know, the butted heads and they had banter between them, but
she probably knew, Jeanette, that he loved her. He loved her daughter. She probably knew he loved her daughter, and that's why she was, you know, like she was with Chris.
As long as I say, even though sort of there were that banter between them, they always, you know, it's a bit like, you know, that affection between them both. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you've got to have that affection to be able to have that banter.
Well, this is it. And same as I say, coffee mornings not be the same without her. You know what I mean? I don't think the coffee mornings will. It was on her pituitary gland, made her grow taller and her feet. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm fine. It's just same as I say. It's talking about Bama and talking her with fondness and the fact that it's happened so suddenly. It's come out of nowhere, you know. And same as I say, we knew it'd be hard this morning, you know, talking about her.
Come on, sweetheart.
But I'm glad I knew her.
Me too.
That's what I wanted to say.
Me too.
And I would have loved to have met her. You know, I mean, some of the things on Facebook, it's centered around a church. And one that I read this morning is it touches heart really, because there were a girl on paying tribute to her, and she says she met Sharon when she was 17 years old, and she met her through church, and it was basically saying that Sharon turned this girl's life around. You know what I mean? And that's the sort of person that Sharon was. You know what I mean? She's opened her heart and her home and everything to a young 17-year-old girl. And this girl was saying that she thought of Sharon as a mum because she'd opened her heart and her home to her. And this were all through a church and through her beliefs and everything. But well, just explain, Nate. Bama Grits is an American YouTuber, but she's a regular here on the coffee morning. We've laughed and we've cried and everything together, haven't we? You know, we've had laughs, we've had jokes, and you know what I mean. It's just saddening to think that, the same as Bella said, and she apologised for saying it, but they take the good ones. You know, there's some rotten people out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's yeah. You know, but you see, I sort of sat crying this morning at that post that the girl had put on Facebook.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, and I think they met through the church, and it were a 17-year-old. She says she met Sharon when she was a 17-year-old girl. And she says basically that Sharon took her under her wing. She, you know, she invited her to her home. She says, you know, they've shared meals and everything together. You know, it's, but that's the sort of person that Sharon was. You know, she opened her heart and her home to everyone. You know, and it's this is why I wanted to do this, you know, this is why I wanted to do this morning. I were in two minds whether or not to do it, because I knew I'd be like this. You know, I knew I'd be like this. Because it's, you know, even though I've never met Sharon, I classed her as family, I classed her as a friend. And when you lose somebody that you class as a friend, it devastates you. So yeah, so some, as I say, probably not go on a long time today. I just wanted to come and, you know, I just want, how can I put it? I just wanted to know that we will miss her. We'll miss the banter. We'll miss her coming into the, you know, into the live streams. You know what I mean? And one thing I can say in her honour is she's touched so many people's lives.
Yes, I agree totally.
She's touched so many people's lives. I mean, I went through a rough patch a few months ago here on YouTube, and she was messaging me, you know, sort of encouraging me, telling me not to give up and keep strong. But that's the sort of person Sharon was.
She was.
You know, offering words of encouragement and saying, "Well, don't you dare give up." You know what I mean?
She was.
You know, don't give up. Don't let them win. Blah blah blah. Words to that effect. But she did it in private. You know what I mean? She private messaged me. You know what I mean? So, but that's what she was like. Even though she couldn't reach out to me, you know, in real time, she actually reached out to me in private messages.
She was lovely.
Yeah. And if she thought, you know, someone struggling or saw someone struggling, that's what she'd do. She'd reach out to them. You know, she'd reach out to them and offer words of encouragement, offer words of support, etc. And that's what she did. But it's nice to see Hazel anyway, and I hope your sister feels better soon. I hope everything goes okay for her. So
It's sad. It's a sad day for us, and you know, it's nobody expects you to go on and on. No, I mean your time. Do you know what I mean? And we're all grateful that you did it, Jeanette, that you came on, and you know, for Sharon's sake. And we know you find it hard, and I know what a big soft wuss you are. That but I'm just really grateful you did.
Yeah, Hazel's just said I needed this too. My sister getting sick again has really gotten to me. During the holidays, I had to spend time with family. Thank you for covering this subject. It's so hard to lose loved ones.
I think, especially with the Jeanette's group, you know, because we are all so friendly, and I think there's like comfort in those numbers, isn't there?
Yeah. Hi, Dennis. How are you? But it's hard. It's hard, like Hazel, you know. And I appreciate Hazel coming in. It is a hard time for Hazel herself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's really hard, Hazel, when I know you know that we don't want to give you false hope and false words of encouragement. We just, you know, we can understand how you must feel. It must be absolutely devastating. It's your sister. You grew up with her. She's part of you. She's part of your blood. It's must be absolutely devastating.
I agree with you there, Bella. You know, it's a process that you've got to be strong. You try to be strong for them. You know, you try to be strong for the rest of your family. You try to be strong.
Hi, Dennis. Sorry.
You try to be strong for that person that's going through it. Because if you're falling apart, then you know what I mean. You've got to be strong. You've got to be, you know. But at some point, I mean, I can, you know, I try. When my mum were going through this, you try to put, like, there were me and my sister. You try to be strong.
Yeah.
You try to be strong for one another. But when you're seeing, like Hazel's sister or your mum or whoever going through this battle with cancer, you can't always be strong. And it were like, you know, me and my sister, when my mum passed away, we cried together.
Yeah.
But the only thing I wanted to do was come home and be with my own family, if you understand that.
Yeah. Of course. I tell you something as well. Some people, it's dealing with it. When I lost my mum, people obviously, but people that I knew would cross the road because they didn't know how to deal with someone that was bereaved. You know what I mean? It's like, what do I say to her? What do I do? And people would avoid you because they just don't know how to deal.
Some people find it harder to deal with bereavement than others.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, same as I say, as much as I love my sister, and we were there together like for 4 days solid, the only person I wanted to be with were Callum and Chris.
Of course. Of course.
You know, you see, that's the heartbreaking part of it, Hazel. She says she's got 2 beautiful children. But, and she don't want to tell her kids about the tumour. You see, this was the thing about my mum. You would have thought that she wouldn't want to turn home. But we got something to hospital and took in a side room, you know, and we had that sort of, you know, the chat. That there was nothing more they could do for her, and she'd have to go into, you know, end of life care. And the minute we went and sat back at my mum's hospital bedside, first words out of my mum's mouth where she says, "I'm dying, aren't I?" You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. Sharon reminded me so much of my mum. You know, she was straight John Ball. She didn't, you know, by Tina, you know, she was straight John Ball. she was one of these that said it as she saw it, you know. And me and, you know, the minute me and my sister sat back at my mum's bedside, she went, I'm dying, aren't I? And she more or less said, well, don't pussyfoot about it, you know, just tell me what they've told you, basically.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, in Hazel's case, it's different because the children are only young. You know what I mean? It's hard to process being an adult, let alone being a child. Yeah, I agree with that.
Looking at Sharon's page. Beautiful tributes. Beautiful tributes.
Yeah. Emma said she lost her dad 5 years ago, and she got there just in time before he took his last breath. I mean, one thing I've got to say, Emma, it never gets any easier. I mean, it's 2 years in April since I lost my mum, and it's like it was yesterday. You know, it's a hard thing is grief. You know what I mean? You can't put a time limit on grief. You know, I mean, Bella, you know, I mean, how long is it since you lost your mum and you miss her every day?
Yeah, 25 years. 25 years.
Yeah, she says her sister's kids are 10 and 13, but it's still, you know, it's still a young age, isn't it, really, to be, you know, going through seeing your mum. It don't matter how old you are, you know. I mean, it's like with me and my sister, we're grown up, but it's still hard to comprehend that your mum's not going to be around, or your mum.
Sorry, my washing machine. That noise is my washer. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Finish in a minute. Sorry.
I thought it were talking to me.
Huh?
I thought it were talking to me. Yeah. But yeah.
Sorry, guys, it's my washer.
But I'm keeping everything crossed, Hazels, and you know, I'm hoping you can see light at the end of the tunnel, and you know, I mean, obviously, her kids probably know that she's sick, and only thing you've got to be strong for them. I know it's hard.
I think sometimes it is time. It is time. I don't know if you can hear me over that ruddy washer.
Yeah.
Time does heal to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But sometimes things are so hard to say. With bereavement, I mean, I talk about my mum quite freely. I'm quite happy. I had a loss a couple of years ago, and the only person that knows here is Jeanette. And I can't even speak those words.
Yeah.
I can't say the words, even on here. I can't say about that bereavement because it was so unbelievably hard.
Yeah.
And it's not that I keep anything from anybody, or that I wouldn't share everything.
It's something that's close to your heart. It's something that, I mean, it's like the closer it gets to the anniversary of my mum's death, and this is why I'm finding Sharon's death so hard, because you know.
I know that's why. I know that's why, Jeanette. I know that's why.
That's why it's so hard for me at the moment.
I know.
Because it's coming up to the anniversary of my mum's death.
I know, darling. Just a minute.
I think that's why it sort of caught me off guard a little bit. It sort of coincided. I mean, in April, it'll be 2 years since my mum passed away, and I think it's so close to my mum's anniversary. That's why it sort of hit me so hard.
Of course. And it's still very close for your mum. My mum's a long time ago, Jeanette. I was 39 when I lost my mum. Long time ago. 39, yeah, I was 39. So yours is still very, very close and still very raw.
But yeah, I mean, I mean, you know, it's birthdays and Christmases, and you know, that are especially upsetting for me. But some as I say, I think that's why it hit me so hard. Some as I say, I didn't know where Sharon on a personal level. But I think that's why it sort of devastated me so much, is because, you know, it's upsetting, and the fact that it's happened so close to my mum's anniversary as well.
Of course. Of course.
And I keep saying to myself, if she could see me now, she'd give me a whack round ear roll, not my mum, Sharon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's the sort of person she was. You know, stop crying.
She's up there saying, look at that silly lot. She is. I just know she is.
Yeah, that's personality. What, you know, what's everybody crying for? You know what I mean?
No. She would. That's exactly what she'd be saying.
And, you know, that was the sort of person that Sharon was. She wouldn't want to see you crying over her. She'd want you to celebrate her life. But, same as I say, I just wanted to explain to everybody why it's upset me so much. And, you know, now I understand, you know, the reason, you know.
Of course. Of course. And she was that kind of funny mum type figure as well, wasn't she? She was that supportive type figure as well.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to tell that story about what I read on Facebook this morning. You know, it weren't just people here on YouTube.
I haven't seen that yet. I'll read through those, Jeanette.
Yeah, and it you know, it were some as I say, it were a girl. She says she first met Sharon when she was 17. You know what I mean? And it's like, I think in some way, she liked to mother people, if you know what I mean. You know, that were, you know.
Very much.
You know, I mean, some of the conversations that we've had on the coffee mornings, I mean, Carla's been there, Bella's been there, you know what I mean?
I know.
You know what I mean? It's and I sat there thinking last night, and I kept thinking, you can't remember all the conversations, but, you know, she made us laugh so many times, you know, with the stuff that she'd come out with. I mean, it's like, we've got on about, like in America, your chips is our crisps.
Oh, yeah.
And our chips are French fries in America.
Fries, yeah.
You know, it were not. Now, what are we referring to? Are we referring to your chips or our chips, or your chips as our French fries? You know what I mean? And it didn't take much to confuse her.
used to get confused when we said fish and chips.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh dear.
Yes, yes, like fish and chips. Would have chips with fish.
And this, I mean, I put in the description, a favourite motto was, I don't want to ask, but I'm going to do anyway.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Even though I might regret it, I'm going to ask anyway.
Bless her.
You know what I mean? And I could just, I sort of sat there last night envisaging it on a tombstone. You know, I might regret this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. You know, it's them sort of daft things that I was sort of sat thinking about last night. You know, famous last words from Sharon, aka Bama Grits. You know what I mean?
I know.
If you'd sort of got to write an eulogy for her, that'd be one of the things that I'd include.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know what I mean? This is sort of, you've got to remember the good times, haven't you? If you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
I mean, going back to my mum, I mean, this is what I always think about my mum. I mean, we used to have her for a dinner every 4 weeks, and for a Sunday lunch. And the minute she'd had a Sunday lunch, she used to lay down on the sofa, supposedly watching the TV. And you'd look over and she'd be fast asleep, you know, mouth wide open, fast asleep. And then she'd sort of wake up and she'd say, I says, you were snoring like a trooper. And she'd say, well, I were only resting my eyes. And I says, well, so that resting your eyes with sound effects. Oh, bless. Thank you, Hazel. Thank you very much. You know what I mean? And it's sort of them things that you remember with fondness, you know what I mean? And my mum's were, you know, I went to sleep, I was just resting my eyes.
I know.
We do have as use as Kate. She says she's little Lynn's been crying her eyes out. She says she puts coffee morning on TV and boom, she's asleep.
Ah.
But I mean, if sort of seeing two women blubbering their eyes out, you know, if that sends them off to sleep, then we've done his job, if you know what I mean. And thank you very much, Hazel. I do appreciate it. Listening to her Auntie Nettie and her Auntie Bella. But yeah, it's I mean, how can I put it? Yeah, we're upset, but we've got to remember her with fondness and for the laughs that we've had with her, and you know what I mean. And she were a character. She were a character. You know what I mean? She were a character, and the support that she gave other people.
I can't find her YouTube channel.
Yeah, Chris has just said she was a sod, but she was my sod. Do you want to link to a channel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to play it in background when I go live on all these.
I'll just try and find it.
I don't know why I can't find it.
I'm looking for it.
Oh, here we go. I've got it. I've got it.
Oh, I'm going to say it could be a family's took it down. But yeah, I mean, same as I mean that is a typical Pixie quotation. She was a sod, but she is sod. You know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying. You know, there were that rapport between them, if you know what I mean. You know.
Oh, that's not a. There's quite a few channels called Bama Grits.
I'll have a look because she came in the coffee morning. It might come up on me.
Yeah.
Recommended. So excuse me in the chat.
Yeah, me too.
While I'm looking.
I cannot find it. It's BAMA, isn't it?
Yeah, BMA.
BAMA.
I put B-A-R.
BAMA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 1T. I can't find it.
All the reason for Bama Grits. Don't look if she's got a thing on.
I think I found her from the YouTube channel before. From Facebook.
Bama Grits, there's no link there. I wonder if it's been took down.
That's what I'm wondering.
There's an underscore there. I wonder if they've deleted it. Oh no, she's there.
They found her.
Yeah, found her.
Yeah, Chris has found it.
Oh.
Well,
I've got a YouTube, Facebook page, but I can't find the YouTube page for some reason.
yeah.
Hi, Deadhead. How are you? So yeah, Chris is on about doing like a live stream at 1 o'clock and like going via the green screen, putting it on the green screen behind him. You know what he's like. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, same as I say, I mean, I just hope the family don't take a channel down. I mean, it you know, if someone, you know, wants to reminisce or,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You know, just to watch a channel. She did have quite a few videos up there, you know, and I've watched, you know, I think one were cleaning, you know, how to clean behind radiators and things like that. You know what I mean? Can't remember because it's quite a while since I actually watched, you know, a channel. But you know, I think she were more of a, rather than sort of creating her own content, I think a lot of times she were that busy.
Bye. Bye, Carla.
Okay, then bye. Bye, Carla. Yeah, the needy homesteader. I just want to pop on and give you ladies and all of Bama's friends my deepest condolences. I'm so very, will keep you in my thoughts and prayers. Thank you very much, needy homesteader.
Thank you.
We wanted to do this. We're in a dilemma after hearing the news yesterday. You know, out of respect, should we not do the coffee morning? And she was a regular on the coffee morning. So we just wanted to do this in tribute to her, you know, let everyone know that we're thinking about her, you know, and remembering her with fondness. More than anything, remembering her with fondness. You know, and as the title suggests, we will miss her. We'll miss her. We'll miss her. A sarcasm, a wit, you know, a kindness, a kind words to everybody. You know, it's like the whole package. You know, she were empathetic to people. She were witty. You know, she were kind. It was the whole package rolled into one, you know. She were a friend to everybody.
Yeah.
But she got that fire in her belly.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Okay then, Emma, you take care, and I'll see you later. But yeah, you know, she were empathetic, but she got that fire in her belly.
Absolutely.
You know, anybody picked on one of her friends, you know, you, me, Pixie, you know, she were there for everyone.
She was.
You know, with empathy, with kindness, you know.
I'm just really glad we knew her. I'm just really glad she was part of our group.
Yeah, me too. You know, it's same as I say, it's not very often that you meet people, not, you know, I mean in real life, but on YouTube, it's not, you don't meet very many people that touches your heart.
No.
And she were one of the people that touched your heart in so many ways. You know, and I don't think we'll ever be able to fill that Sharon hole, if you know what I mean.
No, she was a one-off. She was a one-off.
Definitely.
Well, there's only one person that could pick on me, and that was Sharon.
He says there's only one person I'd let pick on me, and he says, and that was Sharon. You know what I mean? It's true. It's true. It's same as I say. There's not many people that you can say you looked up to, but I think Sharon was one of them sort of people that you can look up to.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, she admitted a mistake. She turned her life around, and I bet she would have wanted you ladies to keep going and doing what she enjoyed so much. Well, you see, this is the dilemma that we had last night, Needy Homesteader. We were that devastated by hearing the news that the dilemma was, do we carry on with the coffee morning? Do we postpone it? And Pixie, who was my husband, said, you know, well, what do you think Sharon would have wanted you to have done? And I says, well, she'd have probably said, well, you know, don't stop on my account, you know, carry on as normal. But I felt the need to do this because, same as Bella says, she were a big part of the community. She were a regular on the coffee, you know, she were a regular on the coffee mornings. Not all the time, but a lot of the time she was. You know, and it's just our way of showing us appreciation to her, to her family. That
exactly
how we felt about her. And she will be missed. So very much. So I'm struggling a little bit here. So I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to shut it down. I appreciate everybody and the kind words. I just wanted to do this. I weren't going to go on for very long because I knew what I'd be like.
Done well, sweetheart. You've done really well.
Yeah. So I'm going to close it down. And I want to thank everybody for coming in and saying kind words and everything. And thank you, paranormal investigators. I'm just about to close it down. I'm struggling a little bit as I thank Hazel for the super chat, and I'll see everyone on Monday. So I'll see everybody on Monday, and you know, love your family, give them a kiss, tell them you love them, and keep everyone close to your hearts. So I'll see everyone on Monday, and bye, and thank you for watching.
Bye. Bye.